Good evening from Zachary Sweets. I thought I'd do this video because I get asked this question a lot about wood burning stoves. I used to be a heat engineer for about 15 to 17 years, and now I'm just a chimney sweep now, and I've been a chimney sweep for about 23 years. And I get asked this question so many times that I thought it was about time I did a video about this question, really. And basically what it is people ask me is, how much wood should I burn in a wood burning stove? How do I know if I'm burning too much wood or not enough? Because if you're not burning enough wood in a wood burner, it's not getting to the temperatures that it should do, which can create a big build-up of tar inside, and also a downdraft of bad smoky wood smell back into your room. What I've always said to customers is that the way I've always worked it out is that basically what you do when the chimney's not alight is to fill it up with wood, and basically get as much wood into the wood burner as you possibly can, and then whatever amount you've got, say you've got 6 logs in there, 8 logs in there, you times that by 3, and that's what you should be burning in a 24-hour period. These appliances are designed for you to use for 24 hours. Obviously, as long as you get them clean on a regular basis, there's no reason why that you ever have to turn them off. They were never designed to sort of just be used for a few hours in an evening time. And so basically, if you want to use them for, like, say 8 hours in the evening and late afternoon, then if you sort of like do what I said, fill it up once, times it by 3, say it's 8 logs in there, that's 24 logs, 8 logs in an 8-hour period. So basically it's like, it could be 1 log an hour sort of thing. It could be less than that. You could have 6 logs and times that by 3, so that could be 18 logs in a 24-hour period. And there's some really important things that you have to remember as well that really help you to get the maximum efficiency out of your appliance. And the first one, the most important one, is obviously the air vents. Because if you have the air vents up and too full, then that allows too much air to circulate into the wood burner, and it will just roar away all the time. It's like the old Boy Girl Scout thing, where if you blow on a fire, it will burn quicker. So you must control the air vents. Some wood burners you can close the top ones off fully, and the ones on the doors you just need to leave a little gap there after they've warmed up. And when you first start them off, you must open the vents up fully to allow enough air, oxygen, to get into the appliance so that it can warm the chimney up, because as soon as the chimney's warm, the better the draw is. That's another video that I've done if you'd like to have a look at that. It's if you have blowbacks on a chimney, on a wood burner or an open fire, you can have a look at, like, on Zachary Sweets, why is my wood burner not drawing, and on an open fire or a wood burner. It's all explained on there. So basically the first thing that you've got to remember is that you've got to make sure that the vents are open fully when you first light the fire, then close them down as the fire gets warmer and warmer. The other thing that's really important to remember is that you need to let the ash fill right up underneath the grate. It's really important that you do that for similar reasons for why that you have the vents closed down once the fire gets going, because you don't want any air going underneath the wood burner, underneath the grate should I say. You don't want any air going underneath it. A lot of people make the mistake of emptying out the ash all the time, or clean it out once a month. You should never clean the ash out. You should always let it fill right up so it's right underneath the grate of the wood burner. If you haven't got a grate in there, you should have at least 2 inches of ash on the base of the fire, because in the old days they never had grates. They invented the grates basically for coal. That's why with a multi-fuel stove, the only difference between a multi-fuel stove and a wood burner, if it's got a grate, is with the multi-fuel stove, is the grate actually moves backwards and forwards. That's why you have a lever at the side, because it allows the ash to drop into the ash pan, to let the air circulate, to let the coal burn more efficiently. Otherwise, if the coal doesn't have any air going underneath it, it solders together and it won't burn very well. But with wood doesn't like air underneath it, so it's very important that you let the ash build up underneath the actual fire. You'll find that it'll burn a lot more efficiently, and then sometimes depending on how long you're burning it for, you could put a couple of logs on before you go to bed, and they'll last all night, and then when you wake up in the morning there'll be hot embers in the fire and you'll be able to chuck a couple of logs on, and then away you can go and you can carry on going. Remember, these appliances were designed to be used on a 24/7 period. They weren't designed to just use for a couple of hours. People make the mistake, they come home from work and they use them for a couple of hours, and then when the sweep comes out to sweep them, they're very tarry, and they can be in bad condition into the actual flue itself. And the reason being is it's not allowing the chimney, the flue liner, to warm up properly to allow the smoke to go up the chimney. Because at the end of the day, what happens is if you've got a cold flue, the first thing, the smoke won't go up the chimney, it will come back into the room. As I say, I've got a video that you can watch on Zachary Sweeps, why is my wood burner or my open fire not drawing. I've got a couple of separate videos that you can watch, if you watch them and do what I say on them, that'll help you to enjoy your fires even more. But it's very important that you do these things with them. You've got to get the chimney nice and warm. You know, as I said, if you want to work out, am I burning too much? It's very simple. You know, you fill it up once, obviously without the fire not on. You times that by 3, and that's how much wood you should be burning in a 24-hour period. So if you're only burning it 8 hours, you divide it by 3. If you're burning it 12 hours, you know, you can divide it, you can calculate. It's very easy, it's very simple to work out, and that's how much you should be burning. But if you use the vents and you use and you fill the ash up in the actual wood burner, you'll find that it'll be more efficient as well. So if you do these simple things, it really makes such a difference to your appliance, and it'll make it so much more efficient. And then you'll get a nice roaring fire like this one right now, and away you go, sort of thing. So it's the other thing I would really say, which is really important to get as well, is get a thermostat from, like a little wood burning stove thermostat, thermostat for them. And basically they work really well. You can buy them on, you can go on Google, you can get them, but make sure you get the right one for your stove. If you get the right one for your stove, then obviously, like this one is like a 10 kilowatts wood burner, but if you've got one for a 5 kilowatt wood burner, when it's saying that it's burning at the right temperature, it won't be burning warm enough. Or if you've got one that's high, say the opposite, the other way round, then you might be burning it too hot, and then what will happen is it'll start melting bits of the mechanisms inside the wood burner, the grate, and all sorts of other things that it could do damage to. So it's very important that you get the right one for your appliance. It's very easy to, if you've got the manual, once they've been installed, a lot of the time the actual fitter will will provide you with one. As I said, I used to be a heat test engineer. I gave it up. I'm just a chimney sweep now. And it was a question that I was asked all the time, and it's a question I'm still asked now, being a chimney sweep for nearly 23 years. And I just wanted to do this video so that it helps people just understand how to operate them on a more efficient basis. So fill the base of it with the ash, and obviously make sure that you can shut them vents down as small as possible. And also, you know, make sure you get a thermostat to go on the side. They don't stick on the pipe because it's not cast iron, it's stainless steel, but they will stick on the side of the wood burner, or actually on the collar of the wood burner as well. But make sure you get the right one for your appliance, and then that way you'll get the maximum heat efficiency out of these. These are great because at the end of the day, what will happen is that you'll like put a couple of logs on before you go to bed at night, doors shut, you'll wake up in the morning and then there'll be hot embers in the fire. Put a couple of logs on, in 20 minutes it'll be back roaring away again, and you'll be able to put a couple of logs on throughout the day, and it'll just keep going, and it'll generate that heat and keep your room nice and warm all day and all evening. And obviously with the prices of fuel as they are at the moment, you know, this is definitely the way forward with heating. At least you can control your bills and how much you're spending and everything. So remember them 3 important rules really with a wood burner. Never empty the ash out from the ashtray. If you haven't got one, have at least 2 inches of ash on the base of the fire. Make sure you close them vents down as much as you can once the fire's going, but make sure that you keep them open fully when you first light the fire, so you can get that flue warm as quick as possible, so that it draws the fire up. As I said before, if you have any problems, then just go to my other videos. Why isn't my wood burner drawing, or why is my open fire not drawing? All the information's there to explain to you how to get it to draw efficiently. And the other thing is to get a thermostat, so specifically for your appliance, so that you know that you're burning the right temperatures for your wood burner. Hopefully this will help you. I know it will do. It's helped many a customer. I've done thousands of chimneys over the last, as I said, nearly 23 years of being a chimney sweep. I was a heat test registered engineer for over 15 years, and now I just do chimney sweeping. And I get this question asked to me all the time, and I never get anybody coming back to me saying, oh, it hasn't worked and stuff like that. So remember to do them 3 things. Never empty the ash out unless it's over the grate. Just if you've got a grate, or pack it down if you haven't, and just leave about 2 inches if you haven't. If you've got a grate, just scrape it up from the top of the grate. Thermostat, and make sure you could try and close them vents down as much as possible, and you'll really enjoy your fire. You'll get the best out of it. You use the minimum amount of wood, and you'll get the maximum amount of heat efficiency out of it. I hope this helps you. Have a lovely evening from Zach.